Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I'm bringing you guys a new series called Big Boi Builds, the BBB, Triple B, or whatever you want to call it. Go and try something new here. You guys should already know, but I do a lot of build videos on my channel. Not only do I like theory crafting builds, but I also enjoy looking at other people's builds, which is why I always ask you guys to post your builds in the comments. Not everyone has the same idea on how to build certain heroes in the game. I just think it's a great way to get better at theory crafting. So for this video, I have 10 builds for you guys. I asked my Discord members to message me their most interesting heroes to use in this video. There was a handful of submissions, but I want to limit it to 10 heroes per video. If yours did not make the cut, they will be considered for the next part alongside any other new submissions. I'll try to give my opinion on each of them and maybe some skill suggestions, but for the most part, I'll try to run down on what the build I think is supposed to do. So first is Assassin Xander. Apparently Vantage is just a placeholder until you can obtain Quicker Post 3, so keep that in mind. This build is an example of what you can do with the new Seal 4 system. Distant Defense 3 Seal is obtainable now, so with the Seal and skill combined, Xander is granted a total of 12 defense and resistance whenever he is attacked by bow, daggers, magic, or stacked enemies. That means his resistance is going up to 29, and with fortified cavalry buffs it increases even further to 35, which is pretty damn good. Not to mention his defense reaches a grand total of 55. Even with plus 18 he cannot survive plus attack Reinhardt. However, if he gives Xander deflect magic 3, I'm pretty sure Xander can survive with a good amount of HP left. An enemy that he can survive easily is Brave Lyn, but because of Sake's blessing, Xander obviously can't counterattack. I guess he can soak up damage and then just blast Lyn with an Ignis activation on the flying player phase. Anyways, this build obviously does less than the Fury or Triangle Depth version, but those stat loss can always be salvaged by surrounding Xander with cavalry buffs. Next up is Cosmog Setsuna. The main reason I chose this build is because she's plus 5 merged. I think it's always nice to see high merged heroes, especially someone like Setsuna, who I never see anymore. This version is a little bit different from the common Life and Death Brave Bull builds. It runs Fury and Iceberg instead of Life and Death Luna. Summoner and ally support looks like it may come in handy, as it kind of salvages her low defenses. 44 HP, 30 res, and that 39 speed does look decent enough to take a hit from a mage other than Reinhardt. But then you gotta remember that this is a plus 5 merge Setsuna, so I'm assuming Cosmog runs into high merge enemies in arena, therefore 30 resistance on paper might not be that useful, but who knows besides him. I'm guessing the reason why he has Fury instead of something like Life and Death is because he wants a way for Setsuna to naturally enter Desperation without reciprocal aid or Ardent Sacrifice. To be fair, Fury Setsuna should be able to kill most heroes with buffs along with the debuff from threat and defense. As for tanky guys that survive, well, that's what other teammates are for, right? Moving along is FEHeroes Marth. I think he said he's trying to give Marth every skill in the game or something. I don't remember. So before I go deeper into this, I believe Bonfire is a lot better than Ignis for this particular build, especially with Wrath. Personally, I think Ignis is just overkill. Bonfire's 2 charge cooldown is more consistent. Also, maybe consider giving him threat and speed. 40 speed is just okay for doubling enemies. There's actually a lot of heroes around 35 speed and above, especially if they are fully SI'd, so he's still going to miss out on a bunch of double attacks. Also, spur speed is kind of meh. It's decent if you're really good with positioning. I do like what this Marth can do. He has Ardent Sacrifice there to combo with Falchion, so for dead turns where Marth has nothing to do, he can heal an ally for 10 HP and heal it back up with Falchion. He'll also have less than 75% HP after using the Ardent Sacrifice once, so Wrath's effect will also activate on the following player phase. I actually don't know if Wrath's effect activates first, then Falchion, or the other way around. Some of you guys might think using Wrath with Falchion is counterintuitive, and it kind of is, but not at the same time. It's not like Falchion is going to heal Marth back up to full HP every turn, but if it does heal past 75% HP, then it might mess up the special timing. But regardless, it's still a very cool build. Next is Ghost Fart's Adult Tiki. Pretty similar to the Fury Quicker Post set. Instead of Fury, he sacrificed a Black Knight and gave her Steady Stance 3. So this set works similar to Black Knight with Quicker Post, Xander, maybe even Red Ike with Steady Stance. The thing that makes Tiki so special is that she has a distant counter weapon just like the rest of those guys, but more importantly, she is a dragon, which means that Brave Lyn Sake's blessing does not affect her and Tiki can actually counterattack back. Tiki can survive with 6 HP from a plus attack Brave Bull Luna Lyn. However, she will die if Lyn receives any kind of attack buff or if she has an attack plus 2 seal equipped. Maybe consider giving her deflect missiles if she's primarily used as a Lyn counter. Plus, she won't even need quick impulse if she's getting hit 4 times from Lyn anyways. Also, I don't think the special is that important on some of these dragons. Most of the sword and axe units that she should be taking have low to average resistance anyways, so they'll just die from getting hit 2 times. Up next is a Lucas build that was submitted by Anthony, one of my Discord mods. I believe the IVs are plus attack and minus speed. It's basically Blue Brave Brave Ike. This is a build that works for any tank out there that is able to inherit steady breath. The only thing I would change is the C slot, maybe go with threat and attack or a different buff skill. I think it's kind of weird to buff other people's defense when Lucas is probably the main tank. I'll go over some matchups. He survives Brave Lynn, but Isaac can't attack back. He survives with 7 HP after baiting neutral Hector and deals 39 damage with Ignis despite the weapon triangle disadvantage. That's pretty nuts. Unfortunately, Lucas won't be able to finish off Hector because of Vantage. And lastly, neutral Brave Ike actually dies to Lucas. Ignis deals 41 damage, which is almost Bike's entire health pool. You need to forget about building that plus 10 Odin and get this guy to plus 10 instead. Next is Planet Spring Xander. I think he's one of the worst units in the game. His base attack is so bad. Just look at that attack stat, 35, bro. Anyways, Planet wanted to make him into a pseudo healer that could also tank well on both phases, which is why he gave him Fortress Defense. Xander's attack is already bad, so lowering it even more doesn't even matter, honestly, and his damage will be coming from his special procs. He obviously has the quicker post there to help Xander double attack on the enemy phase. If you can imagine, Xander is guaranteed to get doubled, and there's almost no way this guy is going to kill anybody besides squishy reds. That will be 4 charges total on the enemy phase, which will ready his Ignis activation to be used on someone on the following player phase. He can use Ignis to blow someone up with that extra 32 bonus damage, and at the same time heal adjacent allies for 10 HP and himself for 4 HP from Carrot Lance, which may or may not bring him back into quicker post range. Even with his Ignis proc, I have a hard time imagining him one-shotting anyone besides squishy units, but if Xander were used to bait a Lance unit, then I can see him using Ignis to finish off that Lance enemy. I personally probably would have swapped out Breath of Life for Savage Blow if you wanted to use one of the player phase skills, just because Breath of Life is kind of difficult to use that sometimes on a melee unit, but if it works for you, then whatever. Next is Rose's Ike. I actually don't have much to say about this build because he's a cookie cutter build. I decided to use it for this video just because he's plus 10 merge and Ike stats are insane. And just look at that 63 attack. Imagine this Ike with his Aether special ready while in Vantage range. That's going to be so much damage and he'll regain a bunch of health back. Next is Reich's Elise. This man sacrificed 2 Bride Lens, which is okay considering Elise is one of, if not the best healer in the game because of her class and stats. Candlelight and Dazzling Staff are like 2 peas in a pod. They work really well together. For the newer players out there that aren't familiar with those 2 skills, Dazzling Staff prevents enemies from counterattacking, and Candlelight inflicts a status that prevents the enemy from counterattacking for 1 whole turn, which is basically just the player phase. I've used Bride Lynn a lot back in the day when she was a bonus unit in Arena, and let me tell you, Candlelight and Dazzling Staff made Arena runs so much easier. However, back in the day, the meta was really different. There was nothing but Hectors and Takumis. She probably won't be that useful now because of all the Reinhardts and Brave Lynns. I'd imagine if Elise is paired up with the right cavalry ally, then there should be no way the players will have any problem facing any one target because of Candlelight's effect. She can buff up an ally for plus 6 attack and plus 6 speed, then attack an ally, and the buffed up cavalry ally can finish off that enemy without worrying about Vantage or any counterattacks. Basically a sitting duck. It's a nice hero, but like I said, probably not that useful in the current meta. It feels extra nice when you're able to use Candlelight against armor ammo teams. Almost done here. We have Seth the Gods, Titania, plus 10 merge, and has a boatload of rare and expensive skills. Slaying Axe, Rip Armor Lolly, Swift Sparrow, and Gale Force. It's a really nice set for arena points. A lot of times Titania is used as an anti-mage because of her high speed and above average resistance. Here Seth is building her as an offensive unit. Slaying Axe and Quick Impulse reduces Gale Force down to 3 cooldown. When she attacks, she should be able to double. She has fortified cavalry, so I would assume that someone else on the team has honed cavalry to buff up Titania. She attacks an enemy 1 charge, enemy counterattacks 2 charge, and Titania attacks the second time, which should activate Gale Force. I like the fact that he has Swift Sparrow instead of Life and Death to preserve Titania's bulk. Beast Law is questionable, however Wings of Mercy is never a bad choice. Anyone can use it effectively to a certain extent. The last hero of the video is Whistle's plus 10 merge Faye with Slaying Bow plus, Distant Defense 3, Quick Approach 3, Defense Ploy 3, and Distance Defense 3 seal. I remember some Discord members talking about this set like 3 days ago and saying it's just way too expensive to build, which it is. And here we have Whistle the Leviathan with this build. He even has Defense Ploy on here. So this set is obviously an enemy phase set that is used to bait ranged enemies, both physically and magically. Faye has the stats to do that. Distance, defense, skill, and seal increases her defense and resistance by 12 when she is attacked by a ranged enemy, which brings her up to 42 defense and 44 resistance. She can tank and kill a fully optimized plus 10 merch Brave Bow Luna Lin with plus 6 in all stats. Also a fully built Reinhardt with Moonbow and Quick Impulse, but she only survives with 1 HP. Slaying Bow reduces Iceberg from 3 to 2 cooldown, so whenever she is attacked by a Brave Bow or Dire Thunder weapon, she immediately fires back with an Iceberg proc. The only thing that I would change here is the C slot. I think attack point might be better just so she can survive Reinhardt with Hone and Go Cavalry, but that might be unnecessary. Alright, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know if this build is something you guys like. I can continue doing them. I also had a similar idea where I go over unfinished builds, but that one might get a bit repetitive if I keep receiving the same type of hero. If I do decide to make another Big Boi Builds video, I'll let you guys know by posting a notice in the community tab on YouTube, and then you guys can send in screenshots there. If you haven't yet, you can join my Discord and follow my Twitter if you want to ask me any questions. The links are always in the description. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.